Imagine a world with no cities, no roads, no houses, and no written language. A world where humans lived among towering forests, endless grasslands, dangerous predators, and unpredictable weather. Every day was a fight for survival. Food had to be found. Shelter had to be secured. And danger could appear at any moment. Yet despite these challenges, there was one activity just as important to human survival as hunting and gathering: reproduction. Without it, humanity would never have survived long enough to build civilizations, explore the oceans, or reach the stars. But how did ancient humans actually have sex? How did they choose partners? Did they fall in love? Did they form lasting relationships? And were they really that different from us? The answers may surprise you. When most people imagine ancient humans, they picture primitive cave dwellers driven purely by instinct. But modern science paints a very different picture. Ancient humans were intelligent, social, and emotionally complex. They lived in small groups, often consisting of only 20 to 50 individuals. These groups worked together to survive. They hunted animals, gathered plants, shared food, protected one another, and cared for children as a community. Life was difficult, and survival depended on cooperation. Because of this, choosing a partner was about much more than physical attraction. A good partner could help gather food, protect children, contribute valuable skills to the group, and increase the chances of survival for future generations. Scientists believe ancient humans were likely attracted to many of the same qualities people value today: health, strength, intelligence, confidence, kindness, and the ability to cooperate with others. In a dangerous prehistoric world, these traits could mean the difference between life and death. Unlike many animals, human children require an extraordinary amount of care. A newborn human is one of the most vulnerable creatures on Earth. 4 years after birth, children depend entirely on adults for food, protection, and learning. This challenge may have helped shape one of humanity's most important evolutionary traits: pair bonding. Researchers believe that ancient humans often formed emotional relationships that lasted long enough to raise children together. These bonds provided stability and improved the survival chances of offspring. While no one can know exactly what ancient humans felt tens of thousands of years ago, scientists believe emotions such as affection, attachment, jealousy, and love have deep evolutionary roots. The same brain chemicals involved in modern human bonding existed long before civilization. This suggests that ancient humans may have experienced feelings remarkably similar to those we experience today. They may have fallen in love. They may have formed deep emotional connections. And they may have experienced heartbreak and loss. Without dating apps, social media, schools, or workplaces, ancient humans met potential partners through daily life within their communities. But they also interacted with neighboring groups. Several times a year, tribes often gathered together for important social events. These gatherings allowed people to exchange tools, share knowledge, celebrate rituals, and meet individuals from different groups. For many young adults, such events may have been opportunities to find potential partners. These gatherings also served another important purpose. They helped maintain genetic diversity. If a small group remained isolated for too long, genetic problems could develop. Meeting and forming relationships with people from neighboring groups helped keep populations healthy and strong. Music and dance may have played an important role during these gatherings. Archaeological evidence suggests humans have been creating musical instruments for tens of thousands of years. Ancient people likely sang, danced, and told stories around campfires. These activities may have helped individuals display creativity, intelligence, confidence, and social status. In many ways, human courtship may have looked surprisingly familiar. People were not simply looking for someone attractive. They were looking for someone capable, trustworthy, and respected. Another surprising fact is that ancient humans had very little privacy. Most people lived close together in small groups. Everyone knew one another. Relationships existed within a social network where family members, elders, and other members of the tribe played important roles. The entire community often helped raise children. Grandparents shared knowledge. Older siblings helped care for younger children. Friends and relatives contributed food and protection. Humanity's success was built not only on individual families but also on cooperation between many people. This collective approach to child-rearing helped our species survive some of the harshest environments on Earth. Modern genetics has revealed even more fascinating details about ancient human relationships. DNA studies show that human groups regularly interacted and formed relationships with neighboring populations. These exchanges helped spread useful genetic traits and increased the resilience of human populations. Scientists have also discovered evidence that ancient humans sometimes had children with closely related human species known as Neanderthals. Today, millions of people around the world still carry traces of Neanderthal DNA. This means that relationships formed tens of thousands of years ago continue to influence the genetic makeup of people living today. Perhaps the most remarkable discovery is how similar ancient humans were to us. They lacked modern technology. They lived without electricity, vehicles, or written language. But they shared many of the same emotions and desires. They wanted companionship. They wanted connection. They wanted family. They wanted belonging. The search for a partner was never only about reproduction. It was about survival, cooperation, trust, and building a future together. Every human being alive today is the result of an unbroken chain of relationships stretching back through thousands of generations. Somewhere in the distant past, beneath a sky untouched by city lights, two ancient humans met. They formed a bond. They raised children. And those children eventually had children of their own. Generation after generation, that story repeated itself. Until one day it led to us. The history of humanity is not only written in fossils, stone tools, and ancient bones. It is written in the relationships that helped our ancestors survive. In the partnerships that protected families. In the connections that built communities. And in the bonds that carried humanity from a small population of hunter-gatherers to the billions of people who inhabit the earth today. The world of ancient humans has disappeared. Their campsites have faded. Their voices have been lost to time. But their legacy lives on in every one of us. And that may be the greatest story ever told.